the idea of the name Alma, because it means to nurture or to nourish, and I think that's what good homes do. There's also an interpretation of the word meaning to uplift the spirits, and that's what I hope it does. The land that Alma will be built on is one of our last river-facing properties. So we challenged the architect to take advantage of that, and the river almost became like the seed from which the Alma house grew. Essentially, the geology of the mountains surrounding Andermatt act like sponges, and they absorb rain and snow, they filter it, and then they release it again. And when they release it, it becomes the source of a river. And we're fortunate enough to have the source of 4 major European rivers, including the Rhine and the Rhone. The sparkly body of water that passes in front of our Alma site is actually the beginning of the Rhine. There are really large openings in the facade that allow the daylight to penetrate deep within the floor plan. So we're avoiding any dull corners or unnecessary use of artificial light. When you're working in an area of such outstanding natural beauty, it's almost impossible to use anything but natural quality materials. Anything else feels insincere and poor. So the architect put together a very thoughtful palette of noble marbles and warm woods, and then he balanced it with natural linens and natural leathers and some beautiful handmade terracotta tiles. I'm really excited about the layouts in Alma. I think they're some of the smartest that I've seen yet in the Andermatt. The layout's made up of a fairly formal sequence of rooms, but it's a very fluid sequence and it's filled with light. It starts at the master bedroom, the master suite with its open plan bathroom at one end, and then it moves all the way down to the river-facing facade where we have a series of rooms of the living, dining, kitchen. And so the dining area has views out across the loggia and then out over the top of the living room. The living area is actually sunken. But what's particularly nice about that sunken living room is that it begins to talk about ideas of retreat and prospect. The penthouse is remarkable. It's a single floor with this soaring vaulted ceiling and the bedrooms to the side that look out over the rooftops of the rest of the Andermatt village and down to the River Reuss itself. There's a rather generous wellness area within Alma. There's an oversized sauna, there's a more intimate bio sauna, and there's this lovely relaxation room with a big picture window looking out across the river again to the Batsberg mountain. The last thing you want to do is be frustrated putting your equipment away. So it was really important we got the design of the ski locker room right, and it's really thoughtfully fitted out, and to the same quality of materials as we have in the apartment. The palette speaks to 2 things. It speaks to this idea of clean warmth, and it speaks to an idea of purity. And I think purity, whether it's air or water or material, has a connotation of quality and sincerity and honesty. And they're the sorts of qualities we want within the Alma property.